Hi Team Value, JJ here. Welcome back, or should I say good day fellow investors, because today I'm going to react to another Sven Carlin video. He's been spitting some facts lately. He's been on fire talking about Tesla and Nvidia, and this one's about Nvidia. Is it going to be like Tesla? That is it going to decline 50%? And he's talking about that. He's got some abuse for these videos. I made one recently about ticker symbol U versus Sven on Nvidia stock. One bearish, one extremely bullish. So let's see what Sven's got to say in this one in regard to Nvidia going down possibly as much as Tesla has.
Good day, fellow investors. Will Nvidia be the next Tesla? We have discussed a few days ago how the AI is in a bubble, and there have been many comments discussing how it is not. 100 billion in earnings, the numbers don't lie, I sell bad news. Whether I went short already, of course, I might be an idiot on the bubble, but I'm not stupid to short because
he knows not to short in a bubble, which I've seen some people do.
Anything can happen in a bubble. I miss the fundamentals, the packaging, 3D architectures, hungry data, computer predator. Competition will not destroy margins. It's a specific winner takes it all again. And in general, when it comes to discussing Nvidia, Bitcoin, Tesla, whatever has been the hot topic over the last decade, I always get the feeling in the comments, Sven, you need to educate yourself, you need to have the same mindset as we have, you need to read the same things and you need to believe the same things. If you think differently, you're an idiot, you will lose money, then they start attacking me. Same old story.
Yeah, I get that too. I've just made a video about Tesla where I pointed to this guy who's short Tesla, and I don't short it. It's very risky, so I don't do that. But I've got some personal abuse for this guy who is very bearish on Tesla, and he's shorting it, and he thinks it's going to go to $15. And, you know, in the comments I had people attacking me personally. You know, people, it's kind of interesting to see that the market at the moment's in this story time. The stories are strong. If they don't have a solid basis for their opinion, they just attack you personally, and I guess that's YouTube.
Something more dangerous and more related to what we speak here when it comes to investing is this. Eventually you'll be right, but in the meantime we can make a lot of money, never pick the bottom, attack on me, etc. And this is the danger here. A lot of you fear of missing out. Let's play it, see where it goes, and that game adds to the pushing higher and higher. Okay, let's do this comparison Nvidia, Tesla, and put it into a categorization just to separate the things. There are bulls, bears, and people that want to see, okay, is there something I want to have a relationship with this bubble or not? This is the answer value investors are looking for.
I agree with that. I'd rather just stay on the sidelines, sit it out and watch it. I did that during what I thought was the EV bubble when Tesla was, you know, close to 400, say from late 2020 on. It went to the moon and now back again, and you really couldn't talk about it. I was happy to stay on the sidelines, although I did think it was a bubble. I wasn't going to short it. I wasn't going to be involved in it and ride it, but people got extremely emotional about it then, and you could tell. And it wasn't just Tesla. It was, you know, other stocks, all those other EV companies, which have since mostly crashed. BYD's doing well against Tesla, but you know, it seems like a similar situation to me. But this is not investment advice. I don't give advice or any recommendations on here. This is for just general education purposes and entertainment. You need to seek your own professional advice, of course, before you make any investment.
So analyst consensus is for a P ratio of, what is this, 30 on the current stock price in the next 3-4 years. If I look at the revenues, we are talking about the price to sales of 10-11 5 years down the road. Of course, if everything will be AI stores, everything is going to be roboticized, we don't need humans anymore, then yes, that growth is now priced in the stock. If it happens, Nvidia will go to the bull case of $15 trillion market capitalization, which is necessary for you to make a good 5x on this risky business.
15 trillion, of course, it's just become the most the biggest market cap company above Apple and Microsoft even. Will it keep going from here? And what Sven's talking about here, 3 trillion, really, if it's going to go to 15 trillion from here, that's a big call from here. And, how far above these other companies will it get? Is it realistic to say that? Some people are saying yes, that it's just going to keep on going. Other people are just riding it from momentum, thinking about the stock, not thinking about the company, that this kind of industry has been cyclical in the past.
15 trillion, keep in mind, is 40% of the current market capitalization of the S&P 500. But the promises is there a new industrial revolution. It might be right. Like the internet, it will be probably right.
Will it be right? The internet did change the world. It changed our lives. But there was that bubble, and then it went down for a long time. Some of those companies, even that made it through, and there weren't many, took a long time to recover. Amazon took a decade to get back to where it was, even though the business was going well. The actual story that comes true doesn't necessarily, follow the stock. The stock goes up and down like a roller coaster, and the development can go up. It's the Gartner hype cycle, inflated expectations into depression, and then a good development up from there.
What I want to mention with Intel is not their competitive advantage, but their constant delays that always come when it comes to investing in these businesses. You might think 2024, 2027, what if there is a delay of 2 years? That lowers the price valuation by 50% because the money comes later, the competition increases, margin squeeze, it completely changes the valuation of a business.
So what he's saying there is that you can pay too much for a stock, even if it's a great company. If you pay too much for it and things happen, people project out, they make these projections about how the business is going to go in future years. And if it doesn't meet those expectations, if something happens, and there are so many unexpected things that can happen in business, then you're not going to get the return. If it's, compounders like these companies have been and are over time, then you can still pay too much. You could have paid, on a market cap of $600 billion from Microsoft during the dot-com bubble, and it took a long time to get back to that. Yes, it's gone up way more than that now. Again, neck and neck with these companies for the, the biggest market cap in the world, but it did take a long time to get back there.
And also promises. Tesla robotaxi to unveil 8th of August. And you see the Tesla stock price, robotaxis, cars, giga, mega factories, whatever. Everyone was so excited. Then the Tesla bubble started to slowly pop. And now not even the promise of robotaxis helps the stock, because here we are.
We're going to talk about the the earnings of Tesla there. I'm just talking to somebody on social media about robots. They were talking about humanoid robots, how every household will have one, talking about robo-taxis, and that's the story. It's been driven by stories. But the next earnings, as I said in that video that I did yesterday about the guy who's shorting and he thinks it's going to go to $15. Hey, it might not get to $15, but he was saying that he thinks the next earnings are going to be pretty terrible, maybe even loss-making. We don't know that. But if you look at the actual earnings of Tesla, they've been going down. The margins have been going down. Cash flow. These stories, people get diverted by these future stories, and there's zero money made from robo-taxis. But we have ARK, who's projecting 63% of a $1.2 trillion revenue going to robo-taxis when there's $0 made from it just yet.
Eventually, the competition catches up. Prices go down, free cash flows become negative, profits barely positive, and the company starts losing money. It doesn't work. Let's make a new promise. Let's go to robotaxis, data, robots, whatever. These are the numbers, and now you can buy electric cars by every car company out there. So the competition, squeezing margin.
It does look like Tesla's moat is narrowed. They did have a while there where they were making a lot of money and they were really the only game in town, and other companies, not legacy companies, but companies like BYD are definitely matching. And now there's 100% tariffs on BYD cars going into the US, and the margins are going down, and they're struggling to sell as many cars as people projected a long time ago. Well, the growth, there's hardly any growth there at the moment. So focus is going to these future things that haven't happened yet, that could happen, and that's when the market turns to stories rather than actually fundamentals. And these are the fundamentals which are definitely getting worse for the time being for Tesla.
It just leads back to average industry prices, and very hard to have a long-term competitive, durable advantage in whatever here, because every other company with money will chase your profits. Tesla is chasing everyone with robotics, computers, whatever. So hundreds of other companies, everyone wants to be in the hot space.
If you have a high barrier to entry, you can definitely, or not definitely because it's never definite, you can maintain that competitive advantage and moat. And these are high barrier to entry industries, but they are global, and the car industry, auto industry over decades has had intense competition. And now Elon Musk is, chasing AI, getting into AI with the future of the business. But having said that, there's SpaceX, and he's done incredible things, which just does add to the story that he can pull it off, and people are hoping. Quite a lot of hopium involved here. Elon Musk himself has said it's very difficult, but he said it exuberant times during that meeting that Tesla could go to $25 trillion companies. So these big projections.
The result is this: there could be some profits pushing the bubble higher and higher. Eventually, reality hits in, delays, profitability becomes an issue. On AI, from the Wall Street Journal, the industry spent 17 times more on Nvidia chips than it brought in revenue. 50 billion spent on Nvidia, we see that on Nvidia's revenue, but they brought only 3 billion in revenue. When that normalizes, the companies will spend less, Nvidia's chart will look like Tesla's financial chart. Further, now we are in a bubble, everyone needs to spend, everyone needs to look smart, citing AI on earnings calls over the last 10 years. Look at the explosion. Now it gets hot and interesting. The most citing is, of course, Nvidia.
So everything related to AI going to the moon, or most things. There are a lot of companies not doing so well. So anything AI related is definitely in a boom right now. And the point that he's making here is that it has been cyclical. We've got, a lot of companies buying Nvidia's products, the big mega companies mostly, and will there be a time where that drops off and the earnings be like Tesla's going down and growth slowing down for Nvidia? What do you think of that? Do you think that that's going to happen? Let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear what you think about this. Is Nvidia going to go up? How much do you think it's going to keep going? Is this a bubble that we're in? Is it going to be like Tesla and lose 50% or more after this? I'd really like to know what you think. Now, I talk about these kind of topics on Patreon sometimes. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to join us over there. I have an investing update, once weekly investing update that I don't share anywhere else if you want to join us over there. Thanks to everybody for watching. I'll put a link on the screen to a video that YouTube thinks that you should watch right now if you're watching on YouTube. And thanks to everybody for watching or listening wherever you're doing that. And I'll see you in the next one.